Now, one of my favorite camera reviewers is Casey Stern, and whenever he says something that confirms what I said about a camera, ooh, that makes me happy. Today we'll be talking about the Insta360 Ace Pro and how the video quality of that camera is just like every other Insta360 camera, and it really sucks. So I had some really bad experience with the Insta360 X3, which is pretty much the same as any other Insta360 camera. I mean, the build quality was okay, the usability was very fun because it was 360 degrees, but the video quality was really poor. And I got a lot of comments from you guys saying that I don't know how to use the camera, I don't know how to set it up, and why does everybody else who's tried this camera on YouTube have better results? But honestly, I've watched and rewatched the videos, the reviewers that reviewed that X3, and now with the Ace Pro, it's pretty much the same crap all over again. The full potential of D-Log-M. Now, Casey put it side by side with the Action 4, the same camera that's recording me right now, although I am capable of getting better video quality and video results from this than Casey does, and I don't use a close focusing filter. No, but it was interesting to see that he came to the same conclusion as I did back with X3, and that is that the footage is really over-sharpened and there's pretty much nothing you can do about it, and that over-sharpness really brings out all the artifacts and all the imperfections in the video. Now, with the 360 version, the field of view is so wide that everything on the edges starts to get magnified and all of those imperfections really come into view. So it looks like the sensor isn't producing a really sharp image, and Casey said that it's the same sensor as on the Osmo Action 4, but honestly I think it's different. I think it's a little smaller compared to this. Not really sure.
The sensors in these two cameras are from the same manufacturer, the same factory. They are literally the exact same sensor. There's something called pixel binning, where you take an 8K sensor and you take every 4 pixels and you make them act like 1 pixel, which is what the DJI Action 4 is doing and what the Ace Pro is doing. So when these cameras are shooting at 4K, they're taking an 8K sensor and they're taking every 4 pixels, making it 1, which makes it 4K.
You know, but more importantly, it's the megapixels. This thing has only 12 megapixels and it's meant for video, so the dynamic range and the resolution of this is going to be much better than that 48 megapixel sensor, which is way too much for sensors of that size. So I still don't get it. If you want to make cameras that do good video, well then you should have a smaller megapixel count and larger pixels. Therefore, I don't understand why everybody's just, you know, cramming out the megapixels into such small sensors. HDR, baby. Now, I did end up selling my Insta360 X3, but here you can see some examples from older videos when I was comparing it to the Osmo Action 4. And clearly you can see that this camera is much sharper than the X3. There's a chopper coming. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's a big police helicopter. Yeah, a loud police helicopter. I mean, if it's not church bells, then it's police helicopters. You know, but it's not all bad when it comes to Insta360 cameras. I mean, they are trying to innovate in the form factor, like the Insta360 Go. I find that to be quite an interesting design. And well, the Ace Pro with the flip-up screen, it's also kind of practical. But still, all of that doesn't resolve the issue, which is the poor image quality. Yeah, I mean, these two are like competing. Which one's gonna be louder? Oh, now we have the third one. So 3 churches going at it at the same time. I don't mention this enough in my videos. Oh brother, you have to be kidding me. You guys have no idea how hard it is to make a video in this part of the world, especially on a Sunday. They're not even in the rhythm, you know? You know, the one behind is just falling behind with the rhythm. Okay, mental note, don't make vlogs on Sunday at 12 o'clock. This is a cool sign. And honestly, I mean, it's hard to beat the low light quality of this camera, considering that it's an action cam. Now since we have church bells, might as well be beside a church. Now, another thing that I find really interesting with the Ace Pro is the price. I mean, this time around, you only get one sensor and one lens, and the price is higher than the GoPro or the DJI Osmo Action. Now, with the X3, technically, you got two sensors and two lenses, and the price was the same. So, you know, it's hard to wrap your head around that. So this is one thing where Insta should sell their cameras cheaper than what you have with DJI and GoPro, because it's really worse quality. No church bells this time around. I made it. Now, I'm pretty sure that the Insta is never going to sponsor this channel, and maybe also because of the subscriber count, and this is where you guys can help me out by subscribing to the channel and liking this video. And if you want to purchase any of the gear that I use and that I recommend, then use my affiliate links down below. This is how you can also help support the channel. Now, I do get a kick out of it if you buy something through my affiliate links. You know, the only thing that the Ace Pro brings to the table is that new AI chip that is integrated into the camera. Now, I have no idea what that AI chip is capable of or what it's even doing. The only thing that I can notice is that really amazing high dynamic range video, and you can see this in Casey's vlog, where the dynamic range of the Insta is, well, quite a lot higher than the dynamic range on the Osmo. But that doesn't mean that you cannot get a high dynamic range video from this camera. As long as you have a static shot, you can, you know, lift up the shadows if you're exposed for the highlights, and if you're using log, you're pretty much saved, because this is really amazing. You know, but the cool thing is that the Insta does that like internally, which is kind of nice and takes away a little bit of that low video quality, you know, attention. But that's pretty much the only thing that that chip does. So it's I mean, I would much rather see the camera to have like autofocusing, or at least the ability to choose two focal planes, like infinity focus and a close focus, because the only camera that has this now is the DJI Pocket 3, and well, that's more of a vlogging camera with a gimbal, which again makes it very unpractical. You know, there's literally nothing about this camera that would convince me to buy it. I mean, the autofocus thing would be a good selling feature. The AI chip, definitely, I don't see a use for that, because I mean, this is a very high contrast image, and I can bring back the shadows and all the details just as simple with a bit of color grading. So, you know, technically you don't need HDR if you take your video creation seriously. But anyway, let me know down below what you think about the new Insta and like all of the Insta cameras, and consider subscribing to the channel, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one with the Osmo Action probably.